I'm at it again. Jules here, going about my home life again. I am making pulled pork. When you have a holiday that is now weeks past and you have a big ham, leftover carcass, bones, and all of that, you would want to put it to good use. You don't just get rid of it. It is very hard to carve when it gets down to the bone and you hit all that layering of fat. Best thing to do is cook it off, bones and all, and cook it long, low, and slow. The pulled pork just separates from any of the fat layer. The fat layer rises to the top. The bones are then good. If you have a dog, if you dare give your dog bones, is a great option. They're one of the thicker bones, but when you actually boil down your stock, your ham stock, for a long time, it actually makes the bone a lot easier to digest for the dog and to whittle down with any harm. But you have to be, conscious of the size of the dog and the type of the bone. That being said, waste not, want not. Look, he smells the ham on the rag. He took it off the counter. Give me my rag. Give me that back. I gave him his part of his bone, and he's just like, he's obsessed. He's ham obsessed right now. Pulled pork can go lots of different ways, you guys. We can make barbecued pulled pork. We can put this pulled pork into a quiche. We can add it to a potato casserole. It can be not just barbecue pulled pork. It can be a honey pulled pork. Options are just limitless at this point. You can freeze it, reuse it, add it to soups, add it to your split pea. I've already done a split pea. I am working hard at trying to get rid of this ham. I try not to waste anything. I've learned this from my mother. I signed off unexpectedly. Still, my fingers get in the way and I hit the wrong button. The stock, that's a different story. It is highly filled with fat. So you really do have to cool it off, separate it. You can use a fine separator. If you like parts and bits of things, you can use a colander that has holes in it. I just did some and put the bones back in. I'll continue to cook it just a little bit longer. I didn't want my meat to be so far gone that it had no flavor, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing. This is really good stuff. Like super, still moist. Tastes so good. Hasn't lost a bit because it's been marinating basically in its own bath of its own stuff. Can't go wrong. But what to do with the stock? You can make potato soup. You can add it to your split pea soup. You can jar it. You can freeze it. You can add it to vegetable stir-fried rice. It could be a pork fried rice. I have to look up things all the time because creatively, I don't like repeating. I like to do something different each and every time. So, anyway, pulled pork. That's how I do it. Waste not, want not. I do not eat ham very often. It passed from Easter. It's the only reason I have ham. And I'm not going to waste it. Alright, signing off. Jules, My Home Life. Like, subscribe. We'll see you again. I'll be cooking this somehow and I'll be posting what exactly I do with it. I'm kind of, leaving it as a cliffhanger. Alright, see y'all in the next one. Jules, bye. Jules here again, trying to pull together more uses for my now pulled pork. because I actually rendered it down in liquid, in its own liquid in water. So it's more like a pulled pork. So I have a few recipes. This is one of them. I'm going to start with what we're going to start with in the pan. We're going to do the onions, the celery, the carrots I pre-softened, so I don't need to add those in. We are going to add the rice. This actually has been cooking in the pork juice that I had rendered the meat in, with the fat strained off, so the flavor on that is amazing already. I will cook, there's a little bit of the grease from the pork that I will saute the onions and the celery in. I will add, these are my frozen peppers. If you ever froze peppers, they get a little soft, you know. They're not like store-bought crunchy, you know, peppers, but they soften anyway. You need to soften them down when you go to cook them anyway, so no harm, no foul. It all works. I have some dried parsley I will add in at the last minute, as well as the garlic and the ginger. When you cook things that are aromatic like that, you don't want to cook them in the beginning so that they cook completely through and they lose some of their pungent, wonderful umami flavor. I also have soy sauce, which I have put about, it's probably 1/8 of a cup to 1/4 of a cup. I kind of go slow, you know, I can't do a lot of soy sauce due to some medical stuff, not blood pressure, but something else. So I kind of back off a little bit on the soy sauce. There's lots of other flavor here. I don't think we'll miss it. You'll end up with some sesame seed, and that's always good. The egg actually gets cooked last. Some people do it first and set it aside. I wait for the whole meal to come together. And when you bring it all together like this, it is warm and hot, and all you do is open up the middle of your baked off rice and all your extras and scramble that egg right in that heat. Works out perfect every time. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. I have my pan ready. I'm gonna do my typical cast iron skillet. Health benefits are, if you run anemic or low on iron, you're gonna want to use a cast iron skillet. You never know. This is my rendered pork. Lots of meals with that. Oh, I'll be having a good time. Dishes as well. Oh my gosh. I have to do the side view so I can get a full shot of all the ingredients. This is crazy when you work on such a small phone. Back again. This is Jules, living my best home life, sharing it with you all through the journey, making my moments, my memorable moments, as special as I can. And as long as I inspire somebody and share it, it does my heart proud. I cook as a hobby. I cook for pleasure, I cook for others, I cook for a million different reasons. Whatever drives you to make your meals, whether it's health or, believe it or not, all of my beginnings for cooking started with just being frugal, just being practical with my groceries and with my children and my home life. And when I, was supporting the, bigger home and a different lifestyle, every dollar counts, and downturns of the economy and upturns and everything in between, it's just a good habit to always be considering what food you buy, what meals you prepare, exercising, all food groups. just experiment. It's truly, I don't want to keep clicheing the joy of cooking, but it's truly more than a joy. It's actually, I don't know, it's soulful. For me, it's soulful. It's you know, that sensory overload that you get if you go to a concert or listen to music or whatever your genre is. For me, cooking does that. Cooking is my go-to to distress, to take my mind off of everything that's going on in the world. Sharing it with you, inspiring you along my journey. I've been doing this forever, and on a whim, I'm like, why not share it? I've gotten enough feedback that what I'm doing and what I cook and how I cook and, you know, the quality of what I cook is definitely worth, you know, sharing with the masses. So I'm sharing more than just the meal. Remember, it's about the memory, the moments, the joy, the practicality, the flavor, nutrition, and then, you know, list goes on. I'm all about it. I think the world has changed a lot, and I think everybody else is too. These are the qualities, the really important generational qualities that get passed down from decade to decade, your parents to you and grandparents to your parents and them to you. It's tradition. And we need to keep tradition alive because a lot of times we forget. We just forget. I think I wrote in one of my posts that the trigger memories with food are so real. Do you ever go into somebody's house and there's no denying that you remember that scent or that smell or that aroma that kicked off in your youth? You know, it's kind of like in springtime when you smell the grass get cut. It's, you know, all feel-good senses. So anyway, just a brief synopsis. Today I'm going to make a vegetable fried pork. I have rendered off in my Dutch oven, not very pretty looking at this moment, my whole ham. Oh, that's heavy. The whole ham that was left over, the bones and everything. You know how you get down to that gristly, fat, deep layer of a ham and you can't cut through it. You don't know what to do with it. Okay, I'll boil it off and I'll put some in split pea soup. But what happens if you boil it for almost a day and a half to 2 days? All the fat slides off. And all those other bits and pieces that are sandwiched between those fat layers that are the juiciest pieces of all, you can use those in anything. All your cooking, any of your cooking with ham, with split pea soup, with vegetable stir fry, ham and eggs, pulled pork, can I think, barbecue pulled pork, honey pulled pork. There's so many different pulled porks. So if you're thinking about just tossing that ham because it's just too gnarly to deal with, think about boiling it off. The smell in your house is amazing, and you'll just go and wait it out. Just put it on very low and just keep on cooking it. So if you let it cool down, you'll take off the fat layer, you'll separate the bones and the fat and the actual meat. Take that meat, pull it apart, make some amazing pulled pork. This is going in the vegetable stir fry today. This is not all of it. I have many more meals to make, many memorable meals to make, but this will go in the vegetable stir fry today. So just a FYI on any meat that has a big bone in it. You know, call out to all those people that are out there homesteading with all your pigs. I hope you're rendering down all of your bones and your beef stock and your pork stock and everything in between, because it's just delicious. I know there's a lot of controversy about how much fat is in it for your good health, and I talk a lot about health, but periodically, I mean, as much as that boiled down and the meat rendered down, I think most of the fat is pulled out of, you know, that meat, and it's more just flavor. Can't say ham, straight up ham sliced is my favorite meal, but this kind of meal is one of my favorite meals. So it's worth getting the ham to do all the work to get to the other side and get these more savory, you know, unique meals that take a little bit of effort, but your family's gonna enjoy it. So let's get to it. Gotta move you guys over. Don't mind me. Up close and personal. All right, so can't see too much. Let me slide you down here. Get my tripod going here. You can see some of what's going on here. Not all of it, but some of it. I've got my rice. That is pre-cooked, and also, let me get my hair out of the way, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot take my hair hanging on things. The rice is actually rendered inside, or let me get my thoughts straight. The rice is cooked in the juices of some of the rendered down pork. So the flavor is already condensed. It is not brown rice. This is actually white rice. I, like many people, soak off my rice for about 15 minutes, drain it, rinse it, drain it about 1 or 2 or 3 times, and then I cook it. I microwave cook mine. I don't use the Instapot. I don't use the stovetop where it boils over. I put it in the microwave, 3 parts to 2 in the rice. I add my stock or whatever, that's part of the liquid. When you add anything oily, it doesn't bubble over the top. I put it on for 30 minutes. It's usually probably about, I would say I put in about 3 cups of rice. All right, so 3 cups to 4 water, or 4 combined water and juice of whatever flavoring liquid you want to use. All right, so that being said, it's gonna be a long video at this point. All right, first thing we want to do is get a, did you see that flame? Did you guys see that? I've tried to say to, when I first got it, I said, this is dangerous. Can you imagine my hair? That's why I put it up. Yup, comes off with a Gary. All right, so I'm gonna go through everything I have. First thing I'm gonna do, onions. I have about a cup or 1 medium onion. I have celery. I have soy sauce. 1/4 a cup. All right, to back again. My phone, not my phone, my battery just kind of went kaput. I got a little sidetracked. Alright, so this is that. I don't know where it dropped off. I'll have to go back when I edit and figure it out. Turn this pan down now that the onions are all golden and not too wet, you know, not too soggy. I'm going to add the carrots. Add the pepper. Add the heat of the other pepper. Just to warm everything. That's the pepper. Spicy one. Got me a breathe right when the aroma is released. I that a proper word? Breathed. I don't know. I breathe. Yes. That's my brain for you. The reason I want to add just a little bit of this is just adds gotta be careful. I don't really want to handle it too much. These are hot. Already got some spicy stuff in there. But we're going for flavor here anyway, right? The flavor profile is going to be a, oh gosh, I can smell the pepper and the onions. Wow. This is a hearty meal for a big family. Hi, Bobby. You smell that, don't ya? He loves rice. I don't know what it is about him and rice, but he loves it. You can go more or less with the onions, more or less with the celery, more or less with the carrots, whatever you want to do. I don't have peas, so that kind of is a problem. This is the soy sauce. You want to add more, please help yourself and add more. Just turn this way down. You can smell the soy sauce already, so I know that it's probably just the right amount for me. I keep getting bumped off. I don't know why. You gotta buy this. You see it? Wow. It is called Maple Bacon Chipotle Marinade. Trading Company. Awesome stuff. Alright, get back to it. I'm on low. It's time to add the garlic. Why do we add it last? Because we want to keep those umami flavors, those decadent, flavorful, aromatic spices as whole as we can. We don't want to, unless you're roasting garlic, you don't really want to cook it down unless you're putting it in oil or in a different kind of sauce. This is, if I can get my ginger. I've had the worst luck with my camera, just booting me off over and over and over, and usually it has to do with our memory. As you guys know, I don't know where it dropped me off. I was discussing the Maple Bacon Chipotle Marinade. It is by Trading Company. You can see that. Awesome stuff. Just, all the flavors are just right here. Last thing I did, I added the pork. Don't know where I got dropped off. I added the green onions for the pop of color. I added the onion, the garlic, and I added the ginger. This thing. There we go. So the pan had time to kind of cool down while I was off trying to navigate my technical difficulties. So what we do with the egg is we make a little well in the middle, and we keep cooking it until it's scrambled. And there we have a barbecued vegetable rice. Good stuff. It's such good stuff. Alright. I'm going to let that do its thing. I'll just use my leaves to trim it off. I always have a plate ready. Something decorative, something pretty. I already put the dishes in the sink because I had some downtime working on my phone. in between. So clean up as I go along. There we have it. And that becomes our vegetable fried rice. Pork fried rice, chicken fried rice, whatever fried rice you wanna do. It's spicy, so I'll add a little pop of color. And there we have it. Perfect bits of egg. Could have used 3 eggs, probably. It's all done. Don't need our vegetable pork fried rice. Yum. Doesn't get better than home cooked food. Truly, it's a blessing to be granted these beautiful, vibrant, fresh produces that our Lord and our Savior has provided. For means of foods of all types. Many meals left here. You can drizzle over some soy sauce, a little extra sesame oil. I am going to drizzle just a touch of this beautiful what can I do? Just so it pours nice. A little bit of liquid water in with it. It's very thick. I don't like that thick. It won't pour, it'll just glob out. So take an extra minute and just kind of whisk your sauce. Pour it over the top, and there we have our beautiful, most amazing barbecued pork fried rice. Clean off our lids here as we go. Clear the deck, clean my hands. Let me turn you around here. Is that better? I don't want to lose you. Look, it's amazing. It's amazing. Gotta give it the taste test. Gotta go for it here. This is to die for. Literally. This is when you crave something spicy and savory. So good. I wish I had company. I wish that I could share this with you. I wish that you would join me. Pull up a cup of coffee next time. Hang around with me. Watch me fill my face when I'm done. I would beam it up if I could. I really would. It's a process, you know, to boil down the carcass of a ham, and you know, but the house smells really good. And then you know, chop up your items. You know, the celery I grow it. The peppers I have, I grow that. I don't make soy sauce, obviously. I'm limited, so soy sauce and mayonnaise and, oh, I didn't even add the sesame seeds. They should be toasted. Sesame seeds. That was the final touch, but they should be toasted. But I got all bumped offline. I got bumped off my phone. So, set out those ingredients, make sure they're whole. My ginger is whole, my garlic is whole. The pork, I rendered it down. I mean, I don't grow beef. I know a lot of people do though. A lot of homesteaders are out there with a whole lot of pork and they won't know what to do with it. So indulge in. I'll bring it over again. Oh, it's heavy, that's why. Render down the whole thing. Render it down. Some people get squeamish and all weird about that, but let it cool down. Take off the fat layer. I've already cleared out, got my meat portions, and started cooking it again. So I put the bones back in, and I, you know, just cooked it off some more. But it'll cool down now because it's off the stove. I'll scrape off the fat, and I will can and jar that goodness to do exactly what I did today, to cook it in rice, to flavor your rice, to cook off your eggs, to cook and use instead of oil. Look at the look at it down. Are you coming to say hi? Come here, say hi. Kisses. That's Dewey. If you've not met Dewey, that's Dewey. Proper introduction. He's just a fixture of the house sometimes. I wonder what he thinks of me when I'm talking to nobody but the camera. Kind of like children, they must think we're crazy. But the whole food part of it, the carrots are whole, celery is whole, the garlic, the ginger, the spices, my peppers, the celery leaves. You know, not everything is going to be a garden staple, but if we can do the best by half or 3/4 whole foods. The rice is white rice. Normally I do brown, but this is white rice. It's traditional for any kind of refried rice. Remember to, when you cook off your rice, remember to get all the white off, all the sticky starches out of the rice so that you can saute it off. Make sure your rice is cold, or at least very much cooled down, so you can break the pieces apart. Otherwise it gets kind of too sticky. I think this is kind of perfect. So the way I did it was, you know, worked out just fine. I don't know what else to cover other than thank you. I'm sorry, I don't know how this is going to come out. I have to piece together my increments of filming to make it look fluid. I'm still working on that, so be patient in that process. And I'll get a few pictures. As always, I stage things up just a little bit, but no, not much different than what it already is, you know? It's a masterpiece. It becomes a masterpiece. And that's what it's about. You know, feeding those you love, engaging in something that has your senses all, you know, fired up. All right, signing out. Love you a lot. Remember to like and subscribe. Remember to share. Remember to comment. Please leave your comments as well. I'll see you in the next one. Jules. Well, there she is. I'm so proud of myself. It's beautiful. Pork fried rice. It doesn't get prettier or more flavorful. This is a hearty meal. It is decadent. I try really hard to make it as special as possible. So for everybody out there that thinks they can't cook, follow along. It is not that hard. Love cooking. I love sharing.